We work well together, and as much as we do need each other, Jonathan is going to be able to stand alone one day, just like I will. But I'm looking for that next Brandy and Darkchild, Missy Timberland. I'm looking for that next relationship with an artist. You know what I'm saying? It's been hard to kind of find it, man. And we have so much talent here in Chicago, but we have, I guess, man, I don't know. There's a shortage of like writers, but we have so many dope vocalists that might not want to be artists, that might want to do other things. And, it's that type of thing, man. So I really haven't. But I did connect with a great guy through Instagram and just through the music world, man. Jesse Miller. He's a new artist that I'm working with. And he's writing and he's cutting from home and he's self-sufficient. We're in a pandemic. We can't get together, but I've been able to collab with him just from Instagram and just really people reaching out to me and me checking my DMs, hopefully 24 hours later before they disappear or checking a story. If somebody hit me before it's gone and being like, hey, what did you say to me? Or what you trying to work? Like, what's up? Usually just kind of happens like that off word of mouth. And I've locally been able to produce and work with a lot of people. So, some people know me in the city to where they call and want to work, but lately for what I'm looking for, it's been kind of tough. But just still on Instagram, still on YouTube, on the Explore page, trying to see who's the next hot thing and hopefully sending them a message saying, hey, no creep. I love your voice. I love what you do. I want to work. I got 10 joints right now. I love to send them, in a fairy tale world, I wish that I could do that every day, but I've had that happen, a few times. So that's really how I keep it going. Really, social media is the ultimate connector, be it good or bad.
Yeah. It's so hard to like play the game of social media. I'm finding it's just because you get drawn into things that don't matter, or they like want you to be drawn into things that don't matter. But the DMs is probably like, that's like the Gary V approach, right? You just DM everyone who you're interested in working
That's right.
with.
Or you comment, you just try your luck, man, and hope that, you know what I'm saying? Something won't, hope that somebody else will see it. Or maybe somebody else in their camp will be like, hey, this kid, Lil Man, have you heard it? He said he been hitting you up. So-and-so sent me, you need to cut this. Like I've come close to a few of those situations with some major artists, but they just haven't gone through yet. It's always a hit and miss or missing communication, especially when you're not directly connected. So social media is the best thing, but like you said, it's tricky. I'm still maneuvering.
Yeah.
I'm not a very outward person. I'm not a very self-promo type of person, but I have learned that if you don't do that, you are,
right,
misaffording yourself some opportunities. But at the same time, I have to be myself, but it's done more damage to me, but
yeah, it's a tricky line. Like I was just reading it. There's an artist named Sufjan Stevens. He actually has one of his best records is about the state of Illinois. I don't know if you know him.
Send it to me,
indie folk singer guy. Although his new music is quite different. And I was reading he just put out a record and I was reading about it and he said he was like saying how he really just like he hates that people on social media, you have to kind of like self-promote yourself these days, like all the time. It's all about branding. It's more about a business than about like, he's like, I don't want a part of that anymore. Like, I just want to be like, my business is me. It's just me. Like, why am I like constantly branding myself? But like, unfortunately, you kind of have to.
Yeah, because if they don't believe it, if they don't see it, they don't believe it. I can tell them. Yeah, I can tell 100 people, yo, I'm on this podcast, man. You know, no podcast. You ain't post it. It ain't on your story. It's not. The link is not in your bio. You know what I mean? So yeah, if no seeing, no believing, and I think that's why people go so hard to just prove to themselves and prove to everybody else, hey, I really am doing something. I really am the stuff. You know, but I'm not that type of person. So it's tough. Because I'm super chill. I'm super humble. You know, I grew up, my dad telling me, you know, stay on it because somebody else may blaze you up on them drums, son. I want you to, you know, I come from just super humble beginnings. So the social media game is not for me, man, but it's a game that has to be played. I do realize that. And the real players, they winning. So I'm hoping to come out of my shell more and be able to share more content in a way that it doesn't make me feel boastful or braggadocious, because that's not me. So that's been the battle, trying to find out how to do it in a way that is me, I don't want to discourage a kid that might be wanting to do what I do, but they're only seeing me at high highs and never seeing the lows to know, hey, I can make it too, because Lil Man went through this, but he also just posted, man, he just, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't know. I try to make it even when I am on there so they can know, this ain't real life. But, so that's been a long struggle for me, man. That's been a long struggle for me. I just got an Instagram page 2015 or 16, I think. I was holding on, but I needed to go to the next level. I started getting these little endorsements and companies, and they were like, yo, where's the content?
Those pictures.
Yeah. So that was originally, why I had to just go ahead and do it, man. I had to just do it. I had Facebook and I had Twitter. I even deleted my Twitter. But I had to, do the Instagram thing because it's become the standard of how people get their music, how people just see you. That's the first thing they go to. The first thing labels go to see, or anybody that I'm trying to do anything for, if they want to see my face, they're going to go straight to my page and search my name. And
and unfortunately, I could say the same thing about me when I'm looking at people to have on the show. I'm like, all right, let's see who they are. And if
you got there to me today, and you was like, this boy ain't posted. Look, the circle of the story ain't highlighted. The post is old. It's like, but if I'm not led to say anything that I want everybody else to hear musically, I'm not putting it up.
Yeah, it's so bizarre because they really make you play these games, and it's just so hard to I don't know, use it as a utility and come in and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is my game plan. I'm coming in. I'm going to make this post and I'm going to get out.
Yep.
And they I just watched The Social Dilemma. So obviously this is fresh in my brain. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I haven't.
But whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, bro.
It's interesting. We're living through interesting times. That's for sure.
For sure, man. And I think too, we come from the school of everything being, especially when you first getting on a gig, everything being so secretive. Don't post nothing. I've seen guys literally get in trouble and get fired from their gigs for posting too much, for posting in rehearsal. Hey, we out here and all. Nah. So, I just never wanted to be that guy. I've been in the rooms with, stars, man, people I would never imagine I would get to see face to face, and they dapping me up and saying, we love what you do. But that phone had to be locked away somewhere. I've been in those. So I think I just kind of carried that with me, especially when it comes to my music and my respect for these artists that I work with. I try not to do too much. You know what I'm saying? I try.
Yeah, I do the same. I do the same thing. By the way, when I'm working, I've only worked with one relatively famous artist, but I'm always very cautious to take out my cell phone. I really want to respect his privacy, and you don't want to be too. You don't want to be that guy that's just flaunting it all the time. That
guy. And, so I think I always wanted to be in the room. I never wanted to have a reason for somebody to say, man, get your boy. He young. He all excited. He taking pictures. I just wanted to be in there, get whatever knowledge, absorb whatever I could, man, and go on back to my space, and tell everybody about it, but not post it.
Yeah, well, the proof is in the pudding when I'm watching videos of you, playing on stage with Nicki Minaj for with millions of views on YouTube. So,
oh man, thank you, man.
You're doing the work, and clearly things are happening. So,
thank you, bro. Yep.
Yeah, totally. Do you have any advice for people who want to be doing remote work, like you've been doing, working with artists, collaborating over the internet and stuff like that?
Yeah, the only thing I can say is a producer doesn't produce to meet his need. So I think as a producer, you know what I'm saying, or people that want to be producers, I think if you start serving the artist more, I think you can get some of the best songs. As a producer, produce for fun what you like. But when you work with somebody, it's a two-way street. So just be open, even if some things don't sound like exactly what you want to do up front. Be open to the journey and the partnership of a 50-50 thing together. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of that's really all I can say, man, is be open and just know that it's not just about you as a producer wanting to get off your new swag or your new sounds or your new tracks that you made. You're entering into almost what is a marriage with somebody, and you want it to work, right? Nobody wants a marriage to fail. I look at working with artists the same way. I want to create something special and let it live long. So that's the best way I could say it, man. Show yourself open to doing different genres, different things, to attract more people. And, hopefully we all get a shot at being, what I'm saying, the hit boys and the big, the producers that have range to be able to do everything. Because there's not a lot of them. It's a lot of producers and there's a lot of famous beat makers, but producers that have that range, that's kind of how I want to be. So it leads me back to just why I've been just in the space of listening to everything to be a better producer. That's the only thing I could really say. Study what happened, study what's going on now, and study what your production partner or your artist, study what they want to become. I always tell them, send me vibes, send me what you like, send me your favorite songs, send me what you don't want me to do, send me the no-nos. Just literally like you in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Getting to know your person. And, I think I heard Pharrell or Kanye say this, making them a suit that it can only fit them. That's it. My sound I do with Jonathan, that's his sound. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Some of the same patches or some of the same, I won't do that again for somebody else. So right. I would say that keep listening, be open, and make sure everything you do is detailed for that person, and just treat it like a marriage, man. And as long as you in a good marriage with somebody, that when come time to blow up and things are going, they don't leave the producer out, you good. But I guess they'll know that probably sooner than hopefully getting all the way in the business and it don't work out. So, trust, all that, man. Trust, being open, listening.
Love it.
All those things.
Yeah. And again, also that comes back to the relationship part, that, we kind of been like honing in on is if you have a great relationship, then you could speak your mind about something also. And like, when things blow up, or like, I don't know, you don't like the mix, but the artist loves the mix and you could really talk about it, whatever it is,
Yep.
And you could really, like, if there's an open dialogue, then things always go better,
Yep. And also too, you can't be a producer without product, right? So, which is why I'm sitting down here feeling like, okay, it's about to be, fourth quarter. This year is pretty much what it's going to be. It's wacky. Let me see what I can create for next year for it to be already out there working. The songwriting process is crazy. So anything that anybody's writing now, we're not going to probably hear it till next year, any major release. So, just having product, having some full songs, because you can't be a successful producer without a writer. So connecting with writers that really only want to be writers, not the writer that really wants to be the artist and don't want to tell the producer, none of that foggy, muddy stuff in the beginning. And I think that, helps for a successful relationship, partnership and production,
Yeah. I love it. Wow. That's a great takeaway for the listeners, I think, to, if they're kind of at the beginning of their journey and they want to, know how to navigate like the relationships and forming partnerships and stuff like that. So thanks for sharing that.
Yep.
I mean, I always ask this question at the end of the episode, and maybe this is the answer, but, what's one thing that you kind of wish you had known starting out that you know now, or maybe something that you did right, but you didn't even realize it was the right thing to do? I
mean, the simple stuff I probably did right, man, by just showing up to rehearsal early and being the last to leave. I'm a big sports dude, so I try to like put work in as if I was a hooper. I can't hoop. I can play, but I can't hoop like that. But just those things, man, putting the extra time in, I'm glad that I knew that was what it was going to take, because it's true. Like, had I not spent those 4 hours after everybody left till 3 a.m. in LA in center stage and by myself, I would have been less prepared the next day. And who knows, possibly just, they could have told me, man, we're going to go another direction. You ain't putting the time in. So I'm glad I knew what it take. I'm glad I knew what it took as far as the hard work, but it's so much I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? There's so much I didn't know, and there's so much I'm still learning. One thing that you got to know is you got to have money to go on the road, your own money, not the money that the camp is promising to pay you when you get there. Okay? So
yeah,
that's the biggest thing, man, being prepared. And, I was okay, but I've been in some situations where I was like, yo, I might need to go get my own hotel room. I'm not comfortable here. And to do that, you have to have your own. So, that's a big part of it. When you go on that tour, you got to treat yourself like it's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And you have to go make more. You have to have something to go get more, because you're going to be in some situations that you don't like. And it's either you're going to walk off the gig or just make the situation better for yourself. So as the years went on, I learned to save money, even emergency money for tour. Save my per diem, like just in case